All right. I think things are happening. I can't tell, but it looks like things are happening. Hi, everybody. Hold on. I'm going to be mindful. Although I need to drink my tea, I'm going to be mindful of not doing it too much on the mic. I know that annoys people. And we don't want to do that, do we? So, welcome. My idea for today is just to get together and write a couple jokes. This will be sort of vaguely in the shape of what we call the Joke Writing Grand Prix, where folks write jokes and I give them some points. I will be giving out points. But the big idea for today is to try out some of these joke writing prompts. Now, we've done a bunch of these streams, and what we usually do is go off a word, like a one-word prompt. But the trouble with just going off a one-word prompt is that it sort of lends itself to wordplay type jokes. And I don't really dig those. Just managing a lot of messages here. All right, so let's get started, shall we? People will roll in as they can. Hang on, I'll say hello to everybody. Oh, it's not accepting typing. There we go. Okay. So, let me get my list of prompts here. Now, I tried to do a stream like this like a week or two ago, and the problem that I ran into is like, I used to look at the news and sort of use that as a starting place to write some jokes, but because the American presidential election is coming up in just a couple of weeks, basically all the news is political, and it didn't really lend itself well to comedy. It just felt like it didn't feel that fun. So that stream was a giant failure, and I'd like to say thank you to Dan for hanging out with me over the course of the stream, even though it was a massive, flop. I really appreciate that. So let's see. So the idea, anyway, like I was saying, the idea is that we'll try to instead of using one word, we'll try to use some more conceptual prompts. So that's the idea for today, is try to test out some of these conceptual prompts. And I do want to say thank you so much to the patrons. Let me get that going here. So thank you so much, guys. Antoine Rollin, Mark Cox, Ian Buckley, Patrick Lennon, Eric Spahn, Spontaneous Ick, Riley Soloner, Stephen Farley, Jonathan Wallace, and Dan Simar. Thank you guys so much for supporting the channel. Much appreciated. Now, I'll have another slurp of tea. There we go. A buddy of mine's 50th birthday last night. So, your boy's feeling a little bit green around the gills. Got a little loose. But I had a good time. Lots of fun. So, where's my list of prompts? Here we go. So prompt number 1 is, where is it? Reasons you're single. So this is a great example of trying to come up with a more conceptual prompt. Like on the previous streams, like I said, we would have, just a word, and everybody would try to write jokes around the word. So maybe this will work out better. And let me find... There we go. I had to paste the link to a friend of mine. So, reasons you're single. It doesn't look like anybody has submitted any jokes yet. But, let's see about this. How about like, so what I'm looking for is like the 2 stories kind of thing. And what I mean by 2 stories is like, this is a Greg Dean idea, which is that jokes all working jokes have two stories, no more, no less. There's the story that the setup tells, and then the story that the punchline reveals was there all along. So, the reasons you're single might be too straightforward, even. Let's think. What if we start like, maybe that's actually a better way to, I don't know, that might be a better way to phrase the thought. Mm-hmm. Something like, I'm trying to think of a way to say, like, to restate. You know, you can think of there's plenty of punchlines that you could think of for this, like, you're single because, you know, you have bad grooming habits, you're a jerk, you're uneducated, you're abusive. But it's the middle part, the original story, like the thinking of a way to say that without, you know, giving the game away. So let's say, I think I might be single because I'm ugly. What about like, here we go. I think I might be single because I don't know how to approach people. I just keep walking up and being ugly. Kip, you are posting your jokes in the YouTube chat, and I'll have you flayed for that. You should be posting them in the channel on the Discord. You foolish, foolish person. Foolish. So you could change, you know, you could change ugly, poor. I think ugly. Ugly has a certain shove to it that I kind of like. I think I might be single because I don't know how to approach people. I just keep walking up and being ugly. Yeah. Okay, so here's story one. A little burp off mic. So this is story one. Oops. And here's story two. Uh-oh. He doesn't have the roll. Hang on, I'll fix you. Let's see. Hold tight, everybody. There you go, Elmo. Got to give a man a roll. So, like I was saying, here's story one. And you can see how the, like I was saying, the Greg Dean idea of the two stories is like the second story that was there all along. So we learn when we get to this part of the joke, when we get to story two, we learn that, you know, in the world of the joke, I was ugly the whole time that I was approaching people. You know what I'm saying? So it's the second story is the punchline is the second story was there all along. Okay, here's the joke. Here's the joke. His first joke from the Discord writers from Zero Follow Through. I think I might be single because I absorbed. Why am I seeing that? There we go. I think I might be single because I absorbed my twin. Now that was a tough slushie to make. That was a good one. I like that. I'm gonna award some points here. Get my zero follow through. Like sauce. So follow through. I'm gonna give you 8 points for that, bud. Now, if you've not watched the stream before, something I often do is screw up the math. So if I screw up math, you'll just have to forgive me. Okay. Sauce says, I'm single because it's illegal to talk to people with a face like this. Yeah. I wish this didn't have I wish on the end. Oh, I missed one. Oh, I did. I apologize, Sauce Man. I think I might be single because my parents never told me I had a twin. Okay. Yeah, I get it. Sorry, Sauce. Thank you for catching me. Koi's mad at me, as well he should be. Let me read that again. I think I might be single because my parents never told me I had a twin. Yeah. I'm on board. Let's see what else comes up. Okay, so Kip says, I feel like I'm single because the prefix I used was I and not us. All right, folks. Kip is a good friend, and we've worked together. He's a fine human being, but he is addicted to wordplay. I think he's got a serious problem. And I am going to award points because he is participating, but oof. I'm going to give him a 4. A 4. He's a 10 of a human being, but that was a 4. All right. Admiral's got a joke for us. I think I might be single because I had to stop dating my patients. Life as a mortician is lonely. Yeah. Okay. Not really a patient as a mortician, but we'll let that slide. Thank you guys, by the way, for hanging out. I sure do appreciate it. Yeah. I mean, I like the mortician angle because you're talking about having relations with people who are deceased, ill-advised. Certainly I think that would be a professional problem, right? But maybe there's a way to say it that we don't have that life as a mortician is lonely. I don't really love because you have to reveal this. You have to reveal the second story, which is that you're a mortician. But maybe there's a way to do that that doesn't, that's a little more streamlined. Let's see. We'll move on to another prompt here in a second. So if you guys want to kind of wrap these up, we'll move on to the next prompt. I think I might be single. Let's see if I can God, this stupid highlight won't go away. I had to stop dating people from work. Maybe like Stop finding. If it happens again, they're going to fire me from the morgue. How about that? Koi says, customers would have been better, says Admiral. Yeah, I think I agree. Okay. Koi says, I think the reason I'm still single is because of the type of person I'm interested in wouldn't be on dating apps. They all live in convents. I'm into nuns. I'll be honest, I was not 100% on board, but then the I'm into nuns. Yeah. I mean, you heard me laugh. Can't very well say that I didn't laugh because I did. I liked it. I'm into nuns. I guess I like it because it feels, the way he wrote it feels contemplative. Like, you can almost see him like stroking his chin and being like, I'm into nuns. Okay. Kip says, the reason why I'm single is because all the other people I'm dating are, and I really want to be like the people I date. Right. I'm going to sip some tea while I think about that one. Hold on. Let me rephrase. I'm into nuns. I'm not sure about that one, Kip. What about something like, that gives me another idea, though. What about something like, until I ask them out. That doesn't really work. It doesn't really work. But my thought was like, people are single, and then I ask them out, and then they say, no, I'm seeing someone. But the way this sounds like is, it sounds like I'm just bragging, like saying, until I ask them out, and then they're not single. I don't know. It doesn't really work. Forget I typed that. Okay. Did I miss anybody? Everybody's got points. So let's move on to a new prompt, gang. Shall we? Now we'll see how this works. But let's try doing some I know I look likes. Now, I'm positive that everybody watching knows what this is because a lot of people do comedy. They know what an I look like is. But, you've heard comedians do this. I know I look like whatever. Let's see if we can come up with some I know I look likes, even though we're not looking at one another. I know the whole idea of an I know I look like is that you're sort of, you're pointing out something that's happening in the room, and we're not in a room together, so we'll just have to kind of give each other that space. Oh, Ian's in the chat. What's up, Ian? It's my friend Ian from down the road. And he's got a suggestion for a prompt. What about why X thinks I'm single? Yeah, that's a good one. Why my ex-GF, ex-wife, parents think I'm single. That's a good prompt. And Isaiah's got, let's see, he says, lots of people advertise that they're single until I ask them out. Yeah, so that's a better rewrite of what I was trying to do, Isaiah. Well done. So let's see. Sauce has got a joke for us. The reason I'm single, well, there's not a lot of people out there who can handle me. A back-to-back reigning Chris Hansen MVP. Okay, I see where you're going. Maybe you should have a seat. This is a This is a joke that takes place in a world where Sauce has made some very bad mistakes in his life. All right. Kip's got a joke for us. I know I look like I just pole vaulted into a pit of lions, but I'll have you know that I just got the best piece of frozen meat from my trip to the zoo. You what now? Kip, I love you, buddy. I want to remind you that I admire you a lot. I think you're a cool guy. But I do not understand this joke. I know I look like I just pole vaulted into a pit of lions, but I'll have you know that I just got the best piece of frozen meat from my trip to the zoo. Why is the meat frozen? I'm not understanding the moving parts. I'm going to give you a single point for effort. You know what? I'm going to call it 2 points because, again, I like you. Sauce says, I know I look like someone who's been to a few Diddy parties. Perfect. Yeah, that is a combining a topical thing that's in the news. The Diddy parties. It's also got a good sound, Diddy parties. Like a pity party. Well done, Sauce Man. Oops. Sauce Man's getting a lot of time on stage. You can tell he's getting good. They love him. Crowds love him. I've said this in a video before, but the probably the best I know I look like ever was that guy on Johnny Carson. He is a Korean American, but his accent is very Texas. I forget the guy's name. I'm just looking it up. Was it Henry Cho? Yeah. Henry Cho. He was on Carson when I was a kid, and it changed my life. It was so funny. All right, Admiral's got a joke for us. I know I look like a pretty lazy person. Okay, already I've only read the setup, but because the other writers have given it 2 thumbs up, something must be happening here. I know I look like a pretty lazy person, but I've gone to great lengths to do very little. Look at that. Gorgeous. Gorgeous. It's got that sort of Twain, Oscar Wilde, Bertrand Russell type of yeah. That was a great one, Admiral. Well done. That reminds me of the I don't know if it was actually Twain, but often attributed to him, and it's like I never wished a man dead, but I've read some obituaries with great satisfaction. I like that one. Hey, it's Dan. It's Dan. He's joined us. Let's see. Oh, this is how I do that. I know I look like the kind of person a booger would elect. What about like I know I look like someone just poured me out of a spittoon. You don't see a lot of spittoon jokes these days. Kids don't use spittoons anymore. Shamefully. Let's see. What's going on in the YouTube chat? Sweet Robbie B says, I learned this from your last video. You are very welcome. Thanks for watching. I know I look like someone who spends all their time at the gym. Well, Ian does look like somebody who spends all his time at the gym. He's a very, very buff Very buff guy. Let's see. Isaiah says, I know I look like I should be guarding a pot of gold at the end of the rainbow, but I was excommunicated from the Leprechaun community for talking bad about Jennifer Aniston. I like the weirdness of it, and I like the idea of being excommunicated from the Leprechaun community. I'm not aware. Obviously, I don't know what their communion rituals are like. But I don't understand how that matches Jennifer Aniston. I don't believe she's a leprechaun. I think she's a very talented actor. So I'm not sure what's happening there. A couple jokes in the Discord chat. Let's go back to the other screen, shall we? We shall. I know with all my hair I look like a... This is Coy speaking. I know with all my hair I look like a fugitive hiding from the police, but I'm just afraid of making small talk with barbers. Yeah, I like it. I was thinking that, as I was reading it, Coy, I was thinking that the punch was going to be police related, but I like the small talk with barbers. Makes me feel good. Solid work. I think that's worth a 7. Dan says, I know I look uninteresting. I received my personality test result and it's negative. I mean, yeah. Great work. That's an 8 for sure. I feel like I might have heard the personality test result and its negative thing before, but that doesn't make me love it any less. Personality test negative. I just tried to Google it and I didn't see anything. Oh wait, I need to add Dan here. Did I accidentally add? I might have added the wrong points to somebody. I think I gave 0 follow through Dan's points. Oh well. Yeah, I get kind of confused by my own system. You guys are just going to have to deal with that. I know I don't look like a... This is Admiral speaking. I know I don't look like a Native American, but I've lived here a long time. Yeah, I get it, but haven't they suffered enough, Native Americans? Without being associated with you? He did try, though. So, my bad, everybody. Yeah, my bad on the math. So, let's switch up. Let's get a new prompt going here. Current prompt. My goal was to be... And while you're thinking about that, I'll read the chat. She was in the horror movie Leprechaun. Oh, okay. My bad. And Isaiah says, I know, this is in the YouTube chat, I know I look like, when I listen to Everlast, I really do know what it's like. I guess that must be a reference to an Everlast song, and that's why it's not landing with me, because I don't know the song. I do apologize. But, I don't know the song. But it works. You know, it would work for anybody who knows the song. I'm just not very cool. I don't know about cool things. Let's see. So we're about, gosh, 30 minutes has gone by already. Unbelievable. Time flies when you're having fun. My goal is to be Jimmy Page. But I found out that no matter how much you practice, you can still be fat. True stories from my life, friends. Nobody really listens. Nobody's interested in a fat Jimmy Page. You know, yes, Jimmy Page is a great guitar player, of course. Not fat though. You know, I think that might have had something to do with his success. Zero Follow Through says, my goal was to be a fighter pilot, but I got uncomfortable oiling up to play volleyball. Yeah, all right, that's a Top Gear, not Top Gear, but Top Gun reference. I'm going to give it a 6. Got uncomfortable oiling up to play volleyball. I kind of wish the I mean, you really need to have that. You really need to have Top Gun on the mind in order for that one to work. Not that there's anything wrong with having Top Gun on the mind. Some people say it's a danger zone, right? Huh? Who doesn't always have Top Gun on the mind? Yeah, it's a fair question. There we go. Admiral says, I wanted to be a doctor, but all I could do was the illegible handwriting. Yeah. It's a serviceable, perfectly serviceable joke. Boom. A couple other people appear to be writing. My goal was to be... What about like... My goal was to be attractive to women. I'm not hearing a punch at the moment. Yeah, I'm not thinking of a good one that goes with it. My goal is to win the Nobel Prize. But there's not a category 4. What do we want the 4 thing to be? But there's not a category for hairiest back. Or dirtiest car. Shittiest something. Longest time between workouts. Messiest sandwich. Come on, Square Brace. Don't be shy. Okay, I'm missing jokes on the stream. I'm missing jokes from the Discord. Let's see. What was the last one I read? Let's see. Koi says, my goal was to be a basketball player. Let me scroll up here. My goal was to be a basketball player, and honestly, I'm sure I could have gone pro if I was just much, much better at it. Yeah, I like that. That's a 7 for sure. Well, that's something like that. Yeah, I like those kind of jokes. It has the same sort of that has the same tastiness to me as like the one Admiral had a minute ago. I know I look like a pretty lazy person, but I've gone to great lengths to do very little. I like that sort of... it feels like it's got that sort of Catch-22 style of not rhyming, but like that recursiveness. That feels good to me. That makes me feel smart. Great joke. My goal was to be a guitar god like Jimmy Page, but when I play shows, it sounds more like Jimmy Cricket. Yeah, I like that one. I'm sure you mean Jiminy Cricket, but we'll take Jimmy Cricket. Some of our players today are English is not their first language, although they're great English speakers, so it's amazing that they're able to do this at all. So let's see. Kip says, my goal was to be great at writing jokes. My friends must be very impressed because they've never treated my aspirations as a laughing matter. Again, wordplay from this guy. Killing me. Yeah. That's just a wordplay on laughing matter. He did try. I will award points. But again, with the wordplay. Let's see. Coy's got another one. My goal was to be the next Jesus, but now I know he only got that role because of who his dad was. Yeah, I like it. It's got a nepotism jam to it. That's a 7-pointer for sure. Let's see. Coy's got another one right away. As a kid, my goal was... Let me get it on screen there. As a kid, my goal was always to become a McDonald's taste tester. I never went pro, but I'm still a very dedicated hobbyist, yeah. I like that one. I don't think it has quite the punch of the Jesus joke, but what does, you know? Admiral says, I wanted a change, so I started lifting every day. The plastic surgeon says my cheekbones can only go so high. He's been lifting his cheekbones. Sure. That was, you know what? I'm going to go 33, bud. I'm going to call that a 7. Sauceman says, I had dreams of being a dancer, but apparently you need great timing. So yeah, comedian? That sounds like one of those, one of those, instead of whatever this is. Oh, I screwed up the... Let's see. Zero Follow Through says, my goal was to be rich, but I never got around to submitting the legal paperwork. Yeah. Oops. That's too many points. Yeah, yeah, I'm trying to think of a different direction to go with the punch there, but it's not landing for me. Isaiah says, should I be doing this in the Discord instead? Yes, you should. I mean, I can read what you're saying in the chat. It's just that I don't have the kind of control over the chat that I do over the Discord channel. So if somebody starts being a wiener and saying nasty things, I don't really know how to get rid of them from YouTube. But I do know how to do that in Discord. So, but I think, well, let me see. Oh, I guess I can get rid of people. I don't know. Anyway, yeah, we typically do it on the Discord. So Coy says, my goal is to be a comedian, but instead of punchlines, I just always do whatever this is. Yeah, that's the classic whatever this is. There just feels like a lot of jokes that end with I was going to do blah, blah, blah instead of whatever this is, and you gesture to yourself. My parents wanted to be a doctor instead of whatever this is. I guess I've heard it enough times to feel like, nobody's making you do comedy, you know? So it's not like you were walking down the street and found yourself on stage with a mic in your hand and somebody was like, tell jokes. Let's change it up. Let's go to a new prompt. If you've got one, if you're working on something, keep working on it. But the next prompt is going to be in the dream world I, which I guess is kind of the same as my goal was to be. But let's leave it and see how it works. You know, Coy, I think that would work, though, as a, especially if somebody, I don't know, in a room full of comedians, I think it probably would. I like the dream world, though. Let's see if anything comes of that. In the dream world, I am never cold. Unfortunately, I still have a small penis. Tiny pee-pee. Zero Follow Through says, let me go back to the other screen. In the dream world, I was the funniest one in the room, but in the real world, I keep needing to change rooms. Yeah, I like that. You know what I like about it is it's not clear what you mean by changing rooms, but I still think it's funny. I mean, it's like the rhythm of it, kind of, right? In the dream world, I was the funniest one in the room, but in the real world, I keep needing to change rooms. Yeah. There's something about that I like. There's something sort of enigmatic that I dig, but I don't know what or why. Shit. Can't use my own software. Okay. Admiral's going blue on us. I don't think I've ever had a wet dream because in my dream world, I always go in dry. Oh, buddy. I don't know what I'm going to do with you guys. You filthy, filthy beasts. Filthy, filthy beasts. Unconscionable. Which channel? There's a JWGP text channel in the Discord, and you will need the role. You'll need the special role. So you might have to @ me. Send me a little @ on the Discord, and I'll be able to sort you out. And I'll post a. Do I want to post a link to the Discord? Hold, please. Here, for anybody. There, that might help. No. Okay. What do we got? Koi says, I started a dream journal recently to record my dreams, and I finally realized something. My dreams are really boring. Yeah. Yeah, I like that. Math? You know, it's... God. Yeah. Talking about your dreams is so, like... I don't know. I mean, and I'm not talking about, like, your aspirational dreams as a human, but, like, the dream that you just had the last night. Ah, it's the worst. It feels like the kind of thing that, like, when you're on a date and somebody starts talking about their dream, you're, like, trying to stay engaged because you don't want to be rude, and also presumably you're interested in them. But, gosh, let's not talk about your dreams. Okay. Zero follow-throughs. No, wait. Oh, we got a couple. So, Kip says, in the dream world, I often give work presentations without clothes on. After that morning's pep talk on living your dreams, I thought it would finally be appropriate, Your Honor. Oh, I see. This is a speech that Kip is giving us. He's being arrested for being nude. Well. Oh, I think we've got a... I've been added. There we go. And I'll add him in here. So it's the JWGP-text channel, Isaiah. Let's see. Points for Kip. Yeah, he is participating again. So, sure. Let's see. Sauceman says, in the dream world, I have 3 dicks instead of just this one, and way higher deductible. Okay. I'm not sure how your deductible relates. I'm going to give that 5 points because I don't understand. In the dream world, women always shoot me down. This is zero follow through. In the dream world, women always shoot me down. At least they talk to me. Yeah, I think that's serviceable. I think we could have used a little bit more of a turn there at the end. You know, like, it does remind me of that joke that Koi was working on this week about the somebody taking time to think about whether they wanted to go on a date or not. At least they talk to me. I guess what you're saying is in the real world they don't talk to you at all. I guess I'm getting it. Koi says, they say dreams can provide powerful insights about your waking life. This morning I woke up and found out the dream I had just woken up from was true. I wasn't wearing pants. I mean, yeah, I dig it. I dig it. Yeah. But do you think it would be funnier if, like, if we went at it from a serious life-changing dream, and then we go to the pants thing? Let's see. Admiral says, a lucid dream is where you're aware that you're in a dream. A lucid nightmare is where you're not aware that you're in reality. Yeah. Yeah. You know, Admiral, I get the feeling that I think these are like I think these are the kind of things that you could carve into a wood plaque, you know, and you could hang it up on your wall next to a live, laugh, love type thing. Okay. Koi says, I often have sleep paralysis hallucinations while I'm falling asleep, and I've learned I just have to ignore them to get to sleep. So, if you want to break into my apartment and murder me, do it while I'm half asleep, and I won't stop you. It is a bit long, and I don't think any of us want to murder you. But I see where you're going. A little bit of a long walk, but hey, we're all friends here. All right, gang. If you're still writing in the Dream World jokes, please continue, but we are going to move on to our next prompt, which is the final prompt of the day. My dad used to say, oh yeah, time to work out that parental trauma. Parental, some people say. I say parental, even though that's not the way it's said. Just, let's see. A lot of people writing for my dad used to say everybody wants to work out their parental trauma. And it's about time. Let's see. That kind of sucks. My dad used to say I never amount to anything, but I never listened. What about, like... What about, like, But over the years, he's changed. He texts that now. Now he shouts it. Let's see. Oh, Ian's got a joke. In the YouTube chat. No one's taking it harder than me, but my dad's been working out his parental trauma. Yeah, that feels like a setup Not sure if it's a punch, though. Okay. My dad used to say a lot of things. I'd love to give you an example, but sadly my mom got custody. Yeah, I think that works. Maybe there's a more clear way to say it, but it's got parts of things. Let me give it a 7. Isaiah says, my dad used to say, never put all your eggs in one basket except on Easter. Okay. I mean, that's just solid. That's just good egg advice. Who's carrying 2 baskets to go get the eggs out of the chicken coop anyway? You just have one basket, for God's sake. Unless you got a lot of eggs, I guess. Let's see. I'm going to call that a 6. Oh, wait, we got to get Isaiah on the board. I'm just going to make up a score for you. A little bit late to the party, but you're still welcome. Let's see. But he's never been in my shoes. They were knocked off by a Buick. It's a little long. Kind of a lot of... I mean, why is it 3 sentences, first of all? What he should have said is watch out for heart disease. All right, let's see what you guys have got. My dad, this is Kip speaking. My dad told me that at wine tastings, you should never take a small sip and immediately spit it out, when you can also take many sips and spit it all out at once. Yeah. I like that one. That appeals to me as somebody who made a documentary about wine. I like the silliness of it. It reminds me of, it kind of reminds me of that Jack Handy type silliness, you know, like never play a saxophone with a mouthful of jam. I think that was a Jack Handy. Let's say that. Dan says, my dad told me I would never amount to anything. He was wrong. I amounted to 150K in debt. There you go. Yeah. What else? Coy says, this competition is biased against people who are raised by single mothers. That's true. And that's also funny. So even if you didn't intend for that to be a joke, I'm going to score it as 1. I'm going to give it a 6. In my dreams, I'm always the hero, the Admiral says. I just wish that hero wasn't Captain Buttfister. Yeah, I like this. I mean, the whole payload of the joke is the silliness of the words Captain Buttfister, which I'm not opposed to laughing about that. You know, someday he'll be promoted to Admiral Buttfister, one imagines. So let's say that is a 6. How did he become a captain, one wonders? All right, my dad said, this is Admiral again, my dad said he'd pay for college, but flip-flopped when I didn't go to Daddy's little university for babies. I'm not sure I understand it. Are you saying you didn't go to school at all and calling that Daddy's little university for babies? Or are you saying that your dad wanted you to go to a school called Daddy's Little University for Babies and you refused to do that because you went to some other school? I apologize if I'm being dense here. Zero Follow Through says, my mother used to tell me to listen to my father, but I was too young to look for him at the corner store. Yeah. Sad story. I'm going to give that a 5. All right, gang. Winding down a little bit now. It's 3:58. Looking at the old clockaroo. So, let's start winding it up. My dad used to say, nobody likes a liar. But it's not true. You could leave it there. What they really don't like is a farty liar. I forgot to switch to the right window. But he doesn't. I'm trying to get to. But I can't help loving jokes in the same way he doesn't love kids. A lot of moving parts. Let's see what you guys got. My mother used to tell me to listen to my father, but I was too young to look for him at the corner store. We already read that one. My father was older than other guys. Dads, I assume you mean. In fact, he looks more like a chimp. I'm not sure I understand. My father was older than other guys. In fact, he looks more like a chimp. I'm not sure I get it. Maybe there's some words. Maybe there's some words missing or mistyped there. Isaiah says, my dad used to say they don't make them like they used to until I bought him an OnlyFans subscription. Yeah. I assume he's performing, or is he a viewer? I feel like the OnlyFans punch is getting kind of, I don't know. I feel like it's reaching its nadir, just because you hear it so often. But I will say, as recently as maybe last year, when I've been on the microphone, I've referenced OnlyFans, and people still kind of giggle about it. So, what do I know? Kip has got a wordplay joke. He's struck through it because he knows I'm not going to like the wordplay aspect of it. But it says, my dad used to say jokes are for kids, but guess who's kidding now? Yeah. Boy, oh boy. With friends like these. Okay. Koi's got a joke for us. And judging by the reactions in the Discord, The writers certainly like it. It says, I've heard it said that blue-collar dads live for imparting knowledge onto their children, how to fix cars, how to build things. But my personal experience, blue-collar dads live for not very long. It's heart-rending, isn't it? But it's also funny. That's a good one. I'm going to give that an 8 because I enjoy the sorrow of it. Admiral says, I'm really proud of my dad for tempering his Fox News addiction. He almost went 20 seconds without shitting on trans people. They know that's going to play well with me because I don't like that either. Admiral, I'm going to go. Dan says, my dad used to say that my generation is lazy. He was wrong. It's my son's generation that's lazy. Yeah, I like that one. You guys are getting warmed up now. There's some good ones coming out. Coy says, my dad used to say, if you love what you do, you never work a day in your life. But now he's mad I'm unemployed. Yeah, I mean, I think there's certainly something to be said there for just like, what if what I love is being unemployed? Admiral says, my dad holds grudges. I've always hated him for that. I stole this joke. I just really like it. No points, please. Okay. Shameful. Well, gang, we have been streaming some joke writing for an hour now. I hope those of you watching and hanging out have enjoyed it. I've enjoyed it. Thank you so much for coming to write some jokes. Let me know what you think. My dad holds grudges. I've always hated him for that. Yeah. Let me know what you think about the use of the prompts instead of the one word. I feel like it's gone a little bit better. You guys are pretty energized today. That makes me feel good. I hope the rest of you, if you're watching later, you'll stop by the Discord, say hello, and let us know if we can help in your joke writing process. Dan's got a final joke for us. My dad was older than other dads. In fact, people from his generation look more like chimps. Oh, I get it. It's an evolutionary. Yeah, it's an evolutionary thing. I understand it now. So, final score. Coy runs away with it. That's 78 points. Admiral and Kip rounding out the podium. Kip, of course, tied with Dan at 37. 37? Zero follow-through. Sauce Man, Isaiah. I really appreciate you guys playing. If you dig these, join the Discord, let me know. Thank you so much to all the patrons for supporting the channel. Much appreciated. Yeah, good times. I appreciate you guys coming to hang out, write a few jokes. Hopefully you feel inspired to write some of your own. And, yeah, come through. Really appreciate it. And now I don't know what to click. I think it's this.